Welcome to Dropping In, a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nickel.
Thank you so much for dropping in on episode 22. Now, the 2020 winter season is upon us, and I wanted to share with you all a little inside scoop from elite athletes, photographers, and many more to see what the heck they're putting in their packs. What are you going to need for the outdoors? Do you think you're missing something? Well, let's drop in and find out. Let me introduce episode 22's guest that we will be dropping in with. This accomplished photographer's client list includes Oakley, Red Bull, Spy Optics, Element Snowboarding, Roxy, and so many more. Her breathtaking visual imagery has gained worldwide recognition. Her captivating content has been featured in Transworld Snowboarding, Snowboarder, Women's Health, Flair Fashion Magazine, MTV, ESPN, X-Games, and again, many more places. She is an X-Games Gold Medalist for action sports photography. You heard that right. A gold medalist at the X Games for action sports photography. She was selected as an O for Oprah Magazine Insider, as well as Sony Alpha Female. She has a YouTube channel and takes you on a behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to be an action photographer. This daughter, friend, photographer, writer, creative director, artist, speaker, and adventure seeker carries a heavy pack. We drop in to find out what's in Erin Hogue's pack. Erin Hogue, are you ready to drop in?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to start with 10 rapid fire questions. So the listeners and the new viewers on YouTube get to know you a little bit better.
Amazing.
Okay. Number 1, favorite sport to shoot?
Oh, snowboarding.
Oh, I didn't know what you were going to say there. Okay. So you have courses online that you're teaching at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer teaching or shooting?
Shooting. I thought I was going to like teaching more. And then I started the courses and I was like, this is really fun. But then towards the end of the last one, because I was just teaching and I wasn't shooting, I got a little jealous of my students. I was like, I want to shoot. I'm just like making them shoot.
Cool. Okay, number 3, you enjoy a lot of different sports, but what's your favorite winter activity?
Activity?
For
like
you
a
to
sport or just like an activity?
Activity.
Oh man. I think it would just be snowboarding. I'm pretty lame, I guess.
And what else do you do?
Outside of that and taking photos, what else do I do in life?
Like you go hiking, you go snowmobiling. You got a dog.
Adventuring. Taking my dog on any kind of thing that like involves some sort of crazy adventure, I'm pretty down with.
Nice. Okay. What is your go-to winter shooting accessory?
Accessory. I always bring safety stuff. Because you never know what can happen. So I always make sure I have a lighter and like a lighter and candles and like overnight stuff, enough stuff to spend overnight.
Nice.
Go-to.
Okay, number 5. From a day's shooting, how long would the editing process take?
Oh man. If it's like a big day, it probably takes like 2 hours to upload depending on how many photos we shoot. And because I shoot Sony, they're massive files, so they take longer. And that's just uploading and like backing up. And then, probably if it was like a big day, probably about a day of editing.
Yeah. So like a day of shooting and then a day of editing.
And that's just if we're doing like a backcountry type shoot. If I'm doing like an actual like paid shoot for a day and there's a certain amount of photos we have to have at the end of it, like 25 photos or something, then that would probably take 2 days.
Okay. Good info for the photographers out there, or if you're thinking of getting into it.
Yeah.
Number 6, favorite place to shoot in the winter and then in the summer?
Favorite place in the winter is in the mountains, like anywhere that has like no trees, just in the alpine and like a good view and snow.
So
Um,
Whistler. Should we just say Whistler?
Whistler, yeah, I
Just
guess.
completely biased.
Yeah, but
This is the place to be, everyone.
it doesn't necessarily have to be Whistler, as long as it's a mountain. Where else is pretty sweet that has mountain? Whistler's kind of the best.
Let me
And
just
then-
give you the answers. Sorry.
What? Yeah, just Whistler. That's the answer. But then in the summer, favorite place to shoot in the summer is in the water. But I haven't shot in Hawaii yet. I've never actually been there, but I feel like that's going to be like, or somewhere with like really beautiful waves.
Like warm water?
Yeah, like warm water. And then, because Tofino's great and I love it, but the waves are just kind of like mushy and they're all over the place. I want to shoot those like beautiful blue, like barreling.
So we're going to Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah. Down.
I'm going to be your somehow assistant. Perfect.
Perfect. That's great. I'm
Okay.
looking for an assistant, so perfect.
Number
It doesn't
7.
pay well, but
We'll podcast while we're down there. Number 7. How do you train for winter? Now, I know how you train, but I want our listeners to get a grip on like what you actually do.
So to train for the winter, I do a bunch of stuff. I do CrossFit, and like right before the season starts, I try and do CrossFit 6 days a week for 3 months. And then I know that I'm in good shape, like muscle wise. But in the summer, I also like run as far as I can. So, I mean, I kind of fell off this summer, but it's my goal to shoot or to run 20K like once a week, because then I know my cardio.
Oh my God.
He's good. But
That's
flat.
so far.
Flat. I mean, it's not like I go fast.
How long is a marathon?
40.
So you're doing half a marathon once a week.
Yeah, but
maybe
I'm not...
you didn't want to know that.
No. But it's like, it's flat. Like when I do that, I don't do run. I don't do hills. I just do like flat for as long as I can.
I mean, I'm happy if I go 5K. So to each their own. But I remember when you were in California, you would like hike the stairs with weights in your pack. Yeah.
And then I hike and stuff with my backpack, with my camera as much as I can. And then, when I was in California, I used to put, like weights in my backpack and then just run stair sets for 45 minutes. So I just go up and down the stairs.
Yeah, I know. I respected that a lot. I thought that was really cool to see. And I think that a lot of people don't understand how heavy a camera backpack is. And so that's one of my questions. Number 8. How heavy is your actual backpack? Have you ever weighed it?
I've never weighed it.
So how many weights do you put in that pack when you're like going up the stairs?
I was doing 40 pounds.
Yeah.
40 or 50. And I think
that's for fun.
I think it was 40 pounds. And that was a little bit lighter than my backpack is in the winter, but it just depends on the day that I'm going out. Like if I'm going sledding, it's probably 50 pounds, I want to say. But if we're going camping, then it's probably like 60.
Wild.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay. Number 9. Okay. You said that you shoot surfing. What I want to know is like, are you the world's best swimmer? And how do you get that shot?
I love swimming. So we're going to go with yes. I like to think I'm the world's best swimmer.
Yeah.
And so I started shooting surfing. I thought I was just going to learn how to surf and never shoot surfing. Because I was like, this is going to be my thing where I'm not thinking about photos. And of course that didn't happen. And I like swimming more than I like being on a surfboard and paddling. So I'd rather be shooting.
Because surfing is wicked hard.
Yeah, it's so hard. And I like being in the water and I'm not patient. Yeah. So I couldn't just like wait for the perfect wave to come to me. So
you're like all kitted up in a wetsuit in Tofino,
Mm-hmm.
For our listeners that don't know, Tofino is freezing cold water. As far as I'm concerned, it's freezing cold water. So you probably have like the hood on, the booties on. Do you have
Gloves.
gloves?
Yeah.
And then your camera's in this thing.
The housing. Yeah, I can show you the housing.
The housing. Are you just getting pummeled by waves?
Yeah, you basically have to be in the spot where the waves break on you to get photos. So this is what you have. It's right here.
Okay, so this container is gigantic with clips on the back. And there's an area for the button?
Yeah, the camera goes in and the button's here. So then you can just like hold it
on the
this
bottom. It's like this stand.
and shoot.
It's gigantic, people. It's just a gigantic thing.
But because there's air in it, it floats. So it like floats so that it's not above water floating, but it's just like under. So it's not like it's heavy. It's just awkward.
It's a gigantic, awkward, light thing that floats.
Yeah, it's just heavy when it's not in the water.
Okay, so you're in the waves and you're just like in the crashing waves.
So when I started shooting surfing, I like borrowed a friend's water housing and I went to Tofino and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I like went in the water and started swimming around and like thought I was getting all these photos and then went back to my computer and I got like 3. And I called the guy that like lent me the housing and I was like, I don't understand I'm just swimming around hoping someone surfs in front of me and I can get a photo and hopefully it's in focus. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you picked the hardest place to learn how to shoot surfing. Because there's just, because there's it's all beach breaks. So you never know where a wave is going to break.
Okay.
You just have to like swim around and then there's really bad currents and really bad rips. So there's like one.
So not only are you in the crashing wave, but you could be taken away by a riptide. Mellow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you chose that. I'm glad you're still with us. And you still want to go out for more. I don't know about Costa Rica anymore. I don't want to have your life in my hands.
No, but Costa Rica will be way better because I think there's reef breaks there. So it'll be like.
I've only been once and I only just swam in the water.
Perfect.
Okay. Number 10.
Oh no.
Where is your favorite place to travel?
Oh, everywhere. Right now it changes too. So
right now we can't go anywhere.
Yeah, but right now, like the top place I really want to go back to is Hawaii. And I just want to like hang out and shoot surfing and be in the sun.
And which island?
Kauai. Never been.
Yeah. Hawaii. Okay, cool. Thanks for the rapid fire, which is never rapid fire, which I love. Now we're going to get into, we had Crispin Chetler on episode 21, and he went over everything that a professional athlete would have in their pack. And we both kind of madly respect photographers in the sense that we know that you've got all the gear and how heavy everything is. And we're just kind of grateful that we don't have to carry that back. Even though sometimes I have offered, it's still a heavy pack with lots of things. So if you wouldn't mind going over and kind of describing what you have that you might take out on a day trip.
On a day trip. Okay. Yes. So obviously the first thing is the camera.
Yeah.
So I have this.
And what kind of camera is that?
This is a Sony A9. So,
it's large. For those listeners, it's got, how long is that? What is that front thing called?
The lens. And the lens.
The whole thing is the lens? But
this is all a lens. Because this is like the main lens I use in the backcountry. It's a 70 to 200. And it just zooms in really close. Okay. So this is the one I use in the backcountry the most. And this is mirrorless. So it's supposed to be a lot like lighter than mirrored cameras. But I mean, it's powerful. It's not, I don't think there's that much difference in the weight.
Like on a scale, like how heavy is just the camera, would you say?
I think, oh man, someone's gonna there's tech people that know the actual answer. I think this lens is 7 pounds.
Okay.
And so I think this body is probably like 5 pounds, maybe. I don't know.
That could be really off. We're already getting up there in weight. All right. Camera. check. And everything like in your backpack has like a little slot for things.
Yeah, everything has a slot. And I use f-stop bags, which are like the way that they like position them, you can fit so much more in them than like other
F-stop.
bags. F-stop. They make
Secret.
really good bags. Yeah.
Secret inside scoop. Fit a lot in the bags. All right. We got the camera down.
Oh, but then you need this lens too.
Okay, another lens, which is just as long as the first lens, which is like bigger than my hand.
Yeah. But this one's, it's great. It's like really good and it stops down really far. So, and I generally, some people like to pick and choose what they bring in a day, but whatever I don't bring, I find I need. So
how many lenses would you bring on one day?
3 or 4.
Okay. And okay, keep going. Sorry. So many questions.
And then I always bring a fisheye lens too, which is just the same.
So sorry, what was the second? What's the first lens? It's like a long
lens, a telephoto. So
and then the second one?
A 70 to 200. And then the next one is a 24 to 70. And so this one's like a little bit zooms in and it's a little bit wide. And then 50 is the way that your eye sees. And that's my favorite focal length to shoot at.
Okay.
And then they both like have a low f-stop, which means
I know
like,
you're speaking like a whole nother language to me.
I know. But I was okay, so you know portrait mode on like an iPhone?
Yeah.
That makes you look better.
Yes. Thank you, portrait mode.
So portrait mode is basically, it just like puts your f-stop. It's like it makes the background blurry. So that's part of what makes the focus go onto you and makes it look better.
Ooh la la. Can we have that lens all the time?
Yeah. That's what this is. It stops down really far. So that's the same thing. It's basically
and that's your second lens that you have.
Yes, this is the second one.
Okay, cool.
And then I also have a fisheye, which just makes everything like look really wide. So you use that one if something's really small and you want to make it look bigger. It makes it look bigger.
Copy that.
And then sometimes I'll just bring like a 50 prime, which is just like 51.4. So just like it makes that portrait mode even better.
Thank you.
It's my favorite.
You really got to dumb this down for me because I have no idea what you were talking about. Though you take amazing photos. I don't know that inside scoop.
Yeah. Now you know.
So we got cameras, we got lenses, four lenses in one pack. And you said one of those may be like around 7 pounds. So we're getting up there in weight.
That's the heaviest one.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I should really look at the weight of all this stuff. I think the other ones are like 2 or 3 pounds. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't even know if I want to know. And then
no, I don't think you do because I would like give my pack away to someone else every day. You carry this. It's your turn.
Your turn. You can. No. And then what else do I have in my bag? Oh, I have extra batteries, but those usually go in like my jacket and stuff, so they stay warmer. And then I bring a headlamp always because you never know what's going to happen, and if you don't have a headlamp, you could not be okay.
Yeah, Chris said the same thing about that. He's like, well, I always end up coming home later than I planned, so a headlamp's very handy.
Oh yeah. There was like one time we went splitboarding and same thing. The one guy didn't have a headlamp, so he had to like go first, and then the two of us that had the headlamps, and he was on skis, so he could go faster. So like we had to we had headlamps, so we were good.
Nice. Okay, headlamps.
Mm-hmm. And then I have like a little safety kit, and this I make sure has everything that I could need for a night if I needed to stay the night.
Okay.
And it also has some like, these are really good for, let me show you what this is.
Can you describe them? Oh, sorry. Can you describe those, please, for our listeners that are not watching on YouTube?
So these little things are pads for
women's feminine products.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I was like, what is this called again? But they're really absorbent, obviously. And so they're great if anyone starts bleeding. And they're really compact and really absorbent. So I have some of those. This version of a feminine product is
that
really
would be a tampon.
starting fires, great fire starters.
Yeah.
And then I have actual fire starters because fire is important if you're going to be there out all night.
Yeah.
And then these are good if you have these, and especially if you're like in the car driving back and your car breaks down. One of these little tea lights.
Three tea candles in a bag.
Apparently, word on the street is you can light one of these in your car, a tea
Yeah.
light, and you can survive the night.
I know that. Yeah, my dad told me that when I started like making the trips to Mammoth. He's like, "You need this," and I was like, "What? Okay, this is random." And fact, you can last the night.
And so I feel like if you build a snow cave, you can also last in the snow cave overnight with these.
Exactly. Unless someone like stupidly puts snow on it by accident. I just foresee like the worst of that happening.
Oh.
But true.
But maybe a compass.
A compass, yeah.
I mean, I don't fully know how to use a compass properly, but I mean, hopefully someone else does. It comes with instructions.
It comes with instructions. Fail safe. When in doubt, someone else will know what to do.
Some of this stuff. Some of the stuff's kind of random. I've just collected it over the years. Flagging tape.
Yeah.
Know? So everyone can kind of know where you're at. I have gloves, but
medical gloves.
Just in case. Those ones are kind of not as necessary. A lighter.
Yeah. And you said you had the flint starter just in case that gets wet as well.
Yes. Yep. And then hand warmers.
Yeah.
Just, to stay warmer. And
because
then
you're a photographer, don't you like freeze just standing there?
No.
You don't?
Sometimes I'll walk in circles if I get really cold, but I generally don't wear gloves when I'm shooting because they get annoying.
You don't wear gloves a lot of the time, I feel. And I like to be bundled up, and I don't know how you do it. You have hands of steel as far as I'm concerned.
I used to work in restaurants. I don't know if I just like burnt the ends of them, so I just don't feel things anymore.
I burnt the feeling out of my fingers.
I don't know. I also have Raynaud's, which is like cold extremity like condition, but I don't know. Whatever.
Does that mean you get frostbite? What does that mean?
It just means you don't have really good circulation. So when your hands and feet get cold, it takes a lot longer for them to warm up. So like I'll lose feeling in my fingers. But it's warmer when you do like this. I do this a lot. Like put it in here and then
oh my goodness. We're done with that conversation.
All right. Deal.
Zap strap.
Zap strap. Also important. These are like amazing for all.
How many would you carry? Like you're just showing us
like,
one.
I'm just showing you one. I'd have like a whole bag.
Okay. The different sizes too?
No, I'm not that fancy.
Okay.
I just have all this.
You can zap them all together to make it longer.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
And then this is like the most important. It's a emergency blanket.
Yes.
So
those are not easy to get back in a little bag that you're showing.
No,
these are the blankets that you would see after you've done your half marathon every week, right?
Yeah, exactly. I get people cheer me on. They give me snacks. I wish.
Yeah.
I feel like I wish I liked racing more because that would be awesome.
Awesome.
So you have up to 90% of your body heat. Yeah, I have multiples of them.
Okay.
I was in. If someone gets injured, like these are just the best. I was in the backcountry once where someone got really injured, and this emergency thermal blankets we had like one small one, and I was so disappointed. I wanted like a million of them. This was like the one thing that would have been
on point.
Yeah, this was like the one thing.
Lives.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. What else do you got in your bag?
So yeah, and then I got some toe warmers just because I have them.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I always have like extra snacks.
What kind of snacks?
Like sugary things. So so the safety ones that I bring are like those maple syrup candies because they're really high in sugar, and apparently those are like a really
I don't even know what you're talking about. Maple syrup candies.
Yeah, like they're made like little maple leaves.
Oh, interesting snack choice.
Well, because they don't ever get old. And like they're a lot of sugar, so it's like a good sugar hit. A friend of mine was like a nutritionist, and she's like, "This is one of the best things to have if you get stuck, because they're small and they're light, and they have, I don't know."
You went to the master. What I was telling Chris is he had the Cliff Bar blocks, and and when I was competing, I swear I like lived off of those. I don't recommend it, but
No, those are good.
they're really good.
Too.
What other kind of snacks?
What other snacks do I bring?
Yeah.
Backcountry. I'm not a good snack person. I bring I bring like hard-boiled eggs, and
That's a good snack.
I love it. But like some people hate it. I love it.
Well, I was the kid that would come to school with an egg salad sandwich, so
nice.
Whatever.
Yeah, see, you get it. You get the hard-boiled. The hard-boiled is so good. Hard-boiled eggs and carrots.
Yeah.
Are kind of my favorite backcountry things because they don't. Well, the hard-boiled eggs need a little bit more love, but carrots are great.
Hard-boiled eggs are so funny. We were going on a road trip from Whistler to Colorado with the half-pipe team, and I thought I was being so nice. I was like, "Oh, I'll make some hard-boiled eggs for everyone," and I brought them, and they're like, "Ew." I was like, "Oh." They thought I was nuts.
That's why I didn't want to say it, because I've done that before. I'm like, oh, who else wants my snacks? And no one wants my snacks. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Maybe we're just too healthy for them. I don't know.
I know. Weird.
Whatever. Oh, man. Erin, anything else in the pack that we should know about?
I think that's it. I think that's kind of water. I have like a Yeti water bottle that I put Bengal tea in, and then it's still hot through the entire day. And Bengal spice is the best tea. So I usually have some like extra Bengal spice tea bags in my bag too, in case someone brings hot water.
That sounds kind of Christmassy.
Yeah, it's the best.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that pack, you've never like fallen over backwards or anything because it's so heavy.
I have.
You have?
Yes.
I would.
I was out with Marie, and she saw this like boulder field from the highway, and she's like, oh, let's go splitboarding up there. I'm sure those pillows are amazing. So we went up, and it wasn't filled in enough. So we were basically just splitboarding around boulders with holes and ridiculousness. And the snow would just like break away, and you just kind of fall into a hole. And so one time I fell in backwards, and I was actually turtled. And there's like a hilarious photo of me just like feet fully in the air, me in the hole, like really stuck.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Backpack taking you down.
Backpack wins every time.
Well, Erin, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. I mean, if there are photographers out there, I think they now understand the dynamic of what's in your pack and what needs to be in your pack and how heavy your pack actually is. And please know that all the athletes out there that you are shooting do respect everything that you're carrying and everything that you do. A couple takeaways. You have 4 lenses in there. One of them could be maybe like 7 pounds. So it gives you an idea of how heavy the pack is. Definitely love the idea of a huge thermos full of spicy tea, which sounds lovely. Don't forget the hot packs for your toes and your fingers. What else? Oh, safety first, guys. Always have your safety pack and those metallic-looking blankets. They're lifesavers. Erin Hogue, anything else that you'd like to add to that?
I think that's everything. I think you got it all.
Covered it. Oh, snacks. Don't be afraid to share your snacks, even if people think it's weird. Whatever. Girls gotta eat.
Right.
Erin, where can people find you if they want to take your courses or see your photos?
Yeah, so Instagram's good, Erin Hogue, or just erinhogue.com is my website, and you can see all the photos there. And then if you want to take the courses, there's an Instagram account for it, Hogue Education, and I run them twice a year. So you just have to keep an eye out for that for when they're launching.
You could be the lucky one to learn from X-Games Gold Medalist Erin Hogue. Whistler local now.
Yes, finally.
Thank you, Erin, so much for dropping in.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for dropping in. You can find all the dropping in episodes on the Dean Blundell Network or on your preferred podcast network, where you can subscribe and not miss an episode.